Greetings all. This is Hairy Nick.
And this is a less hairy Justin.
Coming at you from the right-hand side of the screen. We're trying something a little bit different because we're back in the Hangar Bay. We're back to talk about new X-Wing lists, stuff that features some of the new ships that we've seen come out. And I wanted to try a different bit of a format here. I actually want to show what we're looking at on screen on the video. I usually show like pictures of the cards and stuff like that. And look, if in the comments, if you would prefer to see that, let me know. Always want to experiment with this. But I actually want to show you all the stats and everything that we see on Yet Another Squad Builder. So that's what we're going to do in this video.
Yes, because Yet Another Squad Builder is good. Yeah, it's all good. It does things. As opposed to FFG, which does not.
I mean, FFG does things. It's just their Squad Builder is not
Poopy.
Brilliant. It's the one major criticism I have in this game right now. They've really got to fix it.
Well, you can't even do epic lists on it.
No, which is awful. Yet Another Squad Builder you can. And look, if you have been interested in submitting a list for one of these videos and you don't know how, just go over to Yet Another Squad Builder on your phone, on your computer. You just make a list, you go to the text view, you copy it all out, it dumps the whole list and the link, everything that I ask for every single time we do one of these videos. It's so easy, there's no excuse, it's all there, the tools are there for you, and it's not loading up pictures of cards, and it doesn't take ages like the official Squad Builder. So, I cannot praise this software enough. It is seriously excellent. In any case, enough about that. We are going to talk about the LAAT Gunship, which I always think of coffee when I see this because it looks like latte.
Yeah, because we're from Melbourne.
And we are stuck inside in Melbourne, more importantly. And I want to go out to a nice cafe and have my lattes and my cappuccinos, but we can't do it. So we're going to talk about a ship that reminds me about lattes. Very roundabout conversation, but there you go. Let's have a look at this ship and its stats and go from there. So, we have the LAAT Gunship. I'll bring up the generic card on the screen for you all to see. It has, on its stat bar, a 2 red dice bow tie arc that is either forwards and backwards or left and right, if you want to rotate it to one of those orientations. 1 agility, 8 hull, 2 shield, and it also has 2 recurring charges for the baked-in ability fire conversions, which is something that every single pilot on this platform has. While a friendly ship performs a non-turret attack, if the defender is in your turret arc, you may spend 1 charge token. If you do, the attacker may reroll up to 2 results, which is very, very powerful, but interesting because it doesn't work that well with other LAAT gunships.
Yeah, the only other way to use it is if the other LAATs have missiles. So,
yes, which is the only other attack they could take that doesn't use a bow tie arc or a turret attack. Remember, again, for newer players, if it says turret, even though there's just a symbol of the 1 arc, it still refers to an attack that shoots with 2 arcs. It works the same way. You don't get around the rules that way. So, as a result, this is fantastic for supporting other ships, which is really, really cool. Encourages a bit of a diversity. Also, its actions are focus, target lock, rotate turret, red reinforce, reload, and its upgrade bar is 2 missiles, 2 crew, 2 gunners, and a mod slot. So, lots of great options there. Can take the new multi-missile pods, can take combinations of 2 crew and 2 gunners. There's a lot of new cards on the faction that represent like squads, like clone squads that take up a crew and a gunner slot.
Yeah, I really like that sort of style. It makes it very interesting.
It's reminiscent of teams in Epic. I like that they've brought that kind of design into the standard game. You can even have 2 squads in it, which is really, really cool. But the main thing is it's a support ship and it offers a lot of extra firepower to your aces, your arcs, your torrent fighters, whatever, which is interesting. We've previously had lists in X-Wing that feature things like Lambda class shuttles, TIE Reapers, Upsilon class shuttles, things like that, which really are a more dedicated support. Not so much on offense, although I guess you could say the Upsilon is. but offering this kind of offense support to other ships is quite unique. It's something which I think we should be keeping a serious eye on because, look, if some of the more oppressive elements like the Nantex, which we won't mention again in this video, is suddenly removed because of like an emergency points change, it's stuff like this, like these unquantifiable things that we don't really know a lot about, but on the face of it seem quite powerful, which could suddenly jump into the meta. So absolutely worth keeping an eye on.
Actually, speaking of the Nantex, though, the Warthog's pretty good against it.
Warthog is very good against it. In fact, let's bring up this first list here by one of our patrons, DJ Smithy. And this is weird. I actually know someone who used to be called DJ Smithy in real life. I won't reveal who that is because it would reveal too much about my personal life, which I don't want to do. But that's just quite funny to me. This is Warthog Swarm. We have Warthog in the LAAT gunship, Blue Squadron Protector in the Torrent. We actually have 4 of those.
So Warthog has Wolfpack, Plo Koon, and Synchronized Console.
And all of those Torrents have Marksmanship, Cluster Missiles, and the Synchronized Console. So a bit of a Synchronized Console spam going on here, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, now this has actually been able to use Synchronized Console really well. Beforehand, not a lot of people were using it, but I think the LAAT and its ability.
Yeah, well, it's something which is obviously powerful if we can find a way to make it work. I think every time the Republic gets new toys, people are going to try and play around with it. It just makes the most sense. Warthog is a pretty cool pilot. So Initiative 3, after you or a friendly non-limited ship at range 0 to 2 are destroyed, during the engagement phase, so not if they're bombed, the ship is not removed until the end phase. So really, really cool. This is one of these strange abilities that's appeared in X-Wing a few times. Is it Fell's Wrath from 1.0? That really janky interceptor? Or was it a bomber or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah,
it didn't get removed until after the end phase, which, on like an ace pilot that you invest points in, is awful. It's really bad. But if you're offering that ability to literally every friendly ship you have, especially these guys at Initiative 3, that's quite powerful. I mean, a lot of 5s and 6s flying around at the moment. And it's not once per turn. There's no charge limits or anything like that. It's got charges, but it's for the baked-in ability, not for that ability. It's just really good. It allows you to get potentially 1 or 2 more shots off afterwards. And considering Warthog is a 3-point investment, that's really good. Like I reckon 2 more shots, if you can average that over a tournament, if you generate 2 more attacks out of that ability, you're winning.
Yeah. And especially with the cluster missiles, being able to use Synchronized Console to pass the locks along every time, it's just good.
Big time. And at the end of the day, if that attack that you're saving is a ship that got destroyed with cluster missiles that didn't go off, extra winning. So this is going for real max upside on Warthog. And also marksmanship, it turns a hit into a crit in the bullseye firing arc.
Yeah, now we do have some new 1-point abilities. We've got the Deadeye shot, and then we've also got Dedicated as well.
Dedicated is not new, but
no,
it only goes on generics with titles. I don't know why FFG gave the Republic that. It's one of those talents that each faction gets one of. While a friendly ship in your right or left arc at range 2 defends, if it's limited or has dedicated upgrade and you are not strained, you may gain 1 strain token. If you do, the defender rerolls a blank result. And that actually seems pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to pop off marksmanship very often with these platforms. I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, but I think Dedicated might let you live that extra turn on top of also using Warthog's ability, which could be pretty good.
Durability on durability. Yeah, I think... I mean, I can't comment for the way that this person flies their list. At the end of the day, they're 2 very different effects. Marksmanship, if you just point your ships at your opponent and just charge forward, you often just catch 1 or 2 with marksmanship, and that's pretty good. I like durability. I like longevity, especially when we have 5 ships. totaling, what do we have here? 10 and 30 hit points overall. So more durability. I know a lot of lists have existed in X-Wing purely because of how durable they are, and the fact that your opponent can physically not attack them much to take them off the board.
And also you've got Plo Koon on Warthog as well, just to add even more durability, giving the
Plo
purple
Koon is
reinforce.
Fantastic. 10 points is really, really solid. I know we spoke about this briefly when we revealed all the points, but looking at an example with Plo Koon now, it's really, really solid. Every time I read this card, I go, yeah, it's 3 niche things, but one of them is going to be relevant. I like removing Deplete or Strain as one of many abilities, because it's really good to do that, but you don't have a way to get Deplete or Strain in this list. I don't think this list is going to want to take gas clouds or anything like that. I don't think it's really what this list is trying to do. And repairing face-up damage cards is great when you have ships that don't
Always
have
a
any
good
shields
thing.
Flying alongside.
Speaking of Plo Koon removing Deplete or Strain, Wolfpack actually gives them Strain.
Indeed, when a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 defends, if the attacker is in your firing arc, the defender may gain 1 Strain token to acquire a lock on the attacker. Synchronized console, cluster missiles. Oh, it's just that is a lot of synergy. That would make a rich CEO man looking very serious in an office very happy. Synergy, synergy, synergy. Yeah, dig it. I like this a lot. I like the collection of the ships. I like what it's doing. I don't think the abilities are like too cute or anything. I just think it's really powerful if you can make this kind of strategy work. Let us move along to this list here by Captain Bojangles, also one of our patrons. This is Hound in the LAAT Gunship, alongside Anakin and Obi-Wan in the Delta 7 Aethys Flights. Yeah, I know. I'm going to say it every time now.
I love it. Keep doing it. Now, Hound has Plo Koon and the 7th Fleet Gunner.
And both of our Jedi boys has calibrated laser targeting. Hang on, I'm going to bring it up here. Yeah, calibrated laser targeting.
Yes.
Which is that it's the card that you take when you can't take 7B. It gives you an extra focus result in the bullseye firing arc, which on Jedi is basically an extra hit result. It's a bit better than another dice most of the time.
You've taken Obi-Wan and Anakin. Both of those have 3 force points, so they're going to hold
pretty solid
on pretty well.
Let's talk about Hound here, because I'm quite interested in this kind of archetype. Hound, when there's a friendly ship inside your turret arc, gains a Deplete or Strain token. If you don't have that token, you can remove it from them and put it on yourself. This reminds me a lot of some of the shenanigans done with Lambda-class shuttles over the course of the game. Not just in 2nd edition, also in 1st edition. Is it Kargi? Yeah, it's Kargi in both 2nd and 1st that does this with target locks, and Yor in 1st edition that allows you to deny stress tokens.
Yes.
Now, all of those are much more ubiquitous than Strain and Deplete, unless FFG really keep pushing these, which they have been recently, so, who knows. But we know this kind of effect is already quite powerful, and power bases isn't really a thing right now. It's a powered down version of something that happened in 1.0, but I still think it's pretty interesting.
So would you call this Plo Aces or Hound Aces?
It depends what becomes a more important factor within the list. Plo or we'll see. We'll see. The thing is, we say all of this like, Hound's pretty niche, but look, 1 point more than the 212 Battalion pilot. Why wouldn't you take that? The upside is so good in the situations that your opponent is trying to deplete or stress your ships. So deplete or strain.
Not only that, if you take gas clouds, which I imagine with this list you would be,
yes,
you can just fly through them and not take the strain, basically.
We spoke about the last list, which also utilized Plo Koon, and we mentioned, it could take gas clouds, but I don't think it would really work. This is an example of a list that, take gas clouds. You're flying Jedi. Do it. Man, with Plo Koon, 7th Fleet Gunner, there's a lot of upsides to flying something like this, and it's not 1.0 power bases. It's just nothing is in 2nd edition. This seems pretty good, though.
just quickly, with 7th Fleet Gunner, it adds an additional die
Correct.
to a maximum of 4. So if Anakin Skywalker is in range 1 of someone and in bullseye, do you roll 4 dice and then add the focus?
Correct.
Ooh.
Calibrated laser targeting. While you perform a primary attack, if the defender is in your bullseye firing arc, add 1 focus result. 7th Fleet Gunner adds another dice, but then afterwards. So this is before you would add that result. So yes, you could absolutely get 5. Were we reading that correctly? Yeah. It would be 3, 4, 5. Yeah, correct.
Damn.
It's a thing you can do. This is certainly a thing you can do. And it's not something you're going to do all the time, but flexibility, ace lists. Yeah. I like this. I don't think like this is something I'm going to say, oh, this is obviously busted and it's going to be the next hot thing. I just think, hey, this is the kind of thing that we're going to see experimented with. I think it's the kind of thing which could do well, especially in an environment without Nantex, hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah.
Let's move
on. a nice bit as well. Maybe when we get the Eater 2, when we get Patience, putting that on both of these would be really good as well.
Yeah, for sure. It might mean like taking off 7th Fleet Gunner to balance out the points. It might even mean switching out one of these for an Eater 2 as well, depending on how the points land. As long as Hound is only 1 point, though, just chuck it in with your Jedi. Like, there's almost no downside to that because the upside when Strain and Deplete becomes relevant is just so good alongside aces. So, yeah. I dig it. Originally, when I saw that list, I'm like, I don't get it. You haven't done anything here. I'm like, oh, Hound's only a point. Yeah, do that. Let's take a look at this Hawk Aces by Nick Vernon. This is moving over to some YouTube comment submissions. We have Hawk in the LAAT Gunship alongside Obi-Wan and Rick Olay.
Yes, now Hawk has Ghost Company, Kit Fisto, and Suppressive Gunner.
Obi has Precognitive Reflexes, R4 Astromech, and Calibrated Laser Targeting.
And Rick Olay has Duke and R4 Astromech.
Excellent. I love Hawk's ability alongside Rick Olay.
It's cheeky.
At the start of the end phase, each friendly ship at range 0 to 1 that has revealed a maneuver of speed 3 to 5. They may gain a strain token to perform a barrel roll or boost. Range 0 to 1, yeah, that's a bit of an ask, especially when you're going that fast. Rick Olay, he already wants to be going so fast, so repositioning during the end phase is weird because you're setting up for next turn, but it's so good still.
Also, Hawk with Rick Olay, he's a medium base, so he's going to keep up fairly well with Rick Olay.
That's right.
Possibly.
That's right. Look, medium bases fit anywhere and are always within range 1 of everything that you want them to be. As a Boba Fett player, I know this. So,
yeah. I have seen you do that so many times. It is insane.
Really dirty stuff with Boba Fett. So, I get it. I like it a lot. Like, it's not game-breaking stuff to do a boost or a barrel roll during the end phase, but it's really cool. It's really cool, and I'm very interested in that kind of thing. It's not as much as a dedicated PAL-based style list as that last one we looked at was. But we know Obi and Rick are still good. Like, they're meta-relevant.
Yeah.
They have been for ages. They're not going to stop being meta-relevant. Also, just going through more of the upgrade cards here. Duke on Rick Olay, just do your evade things.
Yeah.
And improve your attack. Yeah, that's always great on a card that freaking gets, extra dice or re-rolls? Yeah, roll 1 additional dice. Yeah, that's so... Rick Olay's so good. Obi-Wan, precog reflexes to do like the preemptive boost or barrel roll, which is a bit of a non-bow with Hawk because you can't do it again in the end phase. But still, you can do some really unpredictable stuff if you boost and barrel roll in some kind of weird order.
This is a list that'll love the extreme maneuvers.
Yeah, for sure. Extreme. Indeed, which is the Force version of Daredevil that just got revealed.
Yeah.
R4 Astromech because it's still only 2 points. I still can't believe that. And I think other people are catching on to this as well because I keep getting comments now. It's like, you're right. Why is this still 2 points? I don't know. Are we just accepting this as a constant within the game? It could easily be 3 points. Probably not 4. I think 4 is a bit too much, but...
Yeah.
Oh, it's a steal at 2 points. So good. It makes your 1 and 2 speed maneuvers less difficult.
Yep.
Just
take
ace that
it.
won't want that. If you're an ace with an astromech slot, take it, basically. Ghost Company is a different card, again, that we haven't spoken about yet in this video. It's basically like the Bistan of the Republic.
But
it's
cheaper.
Even cheaper than Bistan, yeah. Which is really good. Which is really good. You just got to be able to be... So, you just have to have a focus token, and it also gives you rotate turret to focus. Yeah, sure. Great. It's really good. It's really good. It's really good for the points cost. And I like the fact that we have a great support chip next to Obi and Rick that can also shoot. Like lots of little attacks and plinking away. I dig it.
Yeah, and let's talk about Kit Fisto. This gives the ability for ships at range 0 to 1 to perform red evade actions.
Yeah, which makes R4 Astromech a bit better. You don't want to be stressed. You want to take off the stress the next turn. It counts 0 to 1, so it's like Hawk's ability and this kind of work together.
Yeah, every so often Rick or Lay will want to be doing a... Actually, that sort of nombos with Rick or Lay.
No, it's fine.
No,
it's fine.
Actually, it works. It works really well because it then gives you the evade tokens when he does a 1 or 2 maneuver.
That's it. You got it.
It's coverage. Cheeky.
It's coverage.
I like it.
It's what aces do. Yeah, I like it a lot, and that means Duke is turned on more frequently. Lots of combos going on here. So these cards are adding to the value of other cards. It's something very fundamental when you're, especially when you have a decent amount of upgrades like this list does. The big issue with Kit Fisto is if you don't catch friendlies at range 0 to 1, it's just a force token, which is still not terrible, but at the same time, yeah, you don't want this to not work. But at the same time, I think if Rick and Obi are doing their thing and performing really well, and that's the reason that you're not getting Kit Fisto to work, that's okay too. Yeah. It's just that it is 9 points, so it sort of feels bad.
When you're not doing Kit Fisto, you're doing Ghost Company.
Yeah, indeed.
We also have Suppressive Gunner.
Yeah, which, again, we're not really jazzed about this card. While you perform an attack, you may spend 1 focus result. If you do, the defender gains a deplete unless it chooses to suffer 1 damage. A deplete...
I suppose you're shooting first.
No, Hawk shoots last.
No, Hawk shoot last. Why
Initiative
would
4.
you? Yeah.
It's handy. I don't know.
But yeah, realistically, they're going to take the deplete token more often than not.
And if they take the damage, Justin, it'll be completely inconsequential. Okay, I know people disagree with me in the comments about this one. I really don't think this card's any good. Yeah. Also, on this, 7 points. Nah. Get rid of it.
Yeah. What about if
I'm sorry, Nick, if you're watching, but nah. There's no way it's worth 7 points in this list. 188, 12-point bid. You got it. It. Also, you can put Deadly Shot or Crack Shot on Hawk if you want to as well. They're not great, but then again, it heads up to 190. The 10-point bid is the rough threshold I like to have with aces. Yeah, I just take it off. That's sort of where I am with that one. Again, I know I dump on this card, and I'm waiting for it to prove me wrong. I'm waiting for all these meta lists to come up with Suppressive Gunner. I just don't see it happening. Let us move on to our final list here. This is a LAAT mini swarm by Stian Gulli in the YouTube comments. We have Broadside in the Y-Wing, a 212th Battalion pilot. This is the generic LAAT, and 4 Gold Squadron Troopers.
Broadside has the ion cannon turret.
Our LAAT gunship has Wolfpack and 5s.
And the Gold Squadrons are naked.
Yeah, that's what they do. So 1 more new card here. We have 5s on our generic pilot here. After you perform an attack that missed, if the defender's initiative is equal to or greater than your initiative, which, by the way, is 2, place 1 evade or focus token on this card, and before you engage, you can take that token and chuck it on your ship. 3 points.
Seems real good.
It's really good. It's really good. I think like the safety valve on 5s is the fact that it does check initiative. It's like the safety valve on the automated targeting priority is you have to shoot certain targets. I tried that the other day, by the way. I did not enjoy that card. Let's not go into that now, but 5s... Yeah. I like the design here. I think 5s could end up being a bit more expensive because it's generating free tokens. It's only 3 points. But I think having to check initiative like that, it makes sense. It's never going to go on a... It's never going to consistently work on a super high priority ship. Like, I don't know, an expensive LAAT, like Hawk or Warthog or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
but, I mean, you do have to think about your turn ahead with 5s as well. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to take this evade now and use it. You've got to wait till the next turn.
If you're taking an evade, you've got to know that you're going to want to defend later on. I think more often than not, you'll just take focus, though. Focus is always good, basically.
And, I mean, this only happens if your attack misses as well. So, you've only got 2 dice, so against aces, it's more likely to happen.
Oh, yeah. It's likely to happen every now and then. Also, it is before you engage, so the evade token's not that great because you are not likely to use the evade token because you're going to activate at initiative 2 and you're not likely to get shot after that point. So you're more likely to take focus anyway. And it's still good just with focus. Like, it's good. I like the inbuilt balance in that card. I quite like it. We also have Broadside here, and Broadside is something that has seen meta play, so it's worth just talking a bit more about. This is on the Y-Wing. While you perform a turret attack, if your turret indicator is in either of your side, left or right arc, you may change 1 blank to a focus result. You get your ion cannon turret, you point it in the right direction, and you just keep focusing, and your LAAT gunship's going to use fire conversions to give you rerolls and just mod on mod on mod, just ionize things and just capitalize on it by using all those little dudes.
Either hopefully walk them off the board or just focus fire down.
Not an easy list to walk them off the board, but certainly doable.
No.
It will happen every now and then, which is cool. It's not much to say. Like, it's not one of these lists where we're not using Warthog, which I think could be interesting on this list, but we don't have the points for Warthog.
No.
Broadside ionizing, and then you just hammer with all your little ships. And if one of them gets destroyed, well, they still get to shoot. So you're not getting out of it that easy. You'll pay for this, Captain Planet, screams, I don't know.
Random villain, number 5.
Let's just say Vader, for example. Like there's not much to say about this kind of list. Despite the fact it does have a point to spare, I still don't think you put Hound on this. You can if you really want to, but whatever. Hound's not doing much in this. Hound's really good with alongside your aces and your gas clouds and all that kind of stuff. This, to me, seems like a pretty solid application of the generic pilot. The only thing I'd say is we know Broadside is meta-relevant. The torrents are interesting, but you've got 100 points to play with if you want to cut those out. You could put a couple of cheaper Jedi on instead of those if you really, really want to. It's all very, very relevant. There's a lot of room to play here, and I can totally see what's going on. Like, we have an ion ability here and 4 ships to hammer when something gets ionized. I still think, even 2 or 3 ships instead of those 4 ships is still going to capitalize off it well, but it might be useful for other game strategies when you don't specifically get things ionized, or you don't get 1,000 things flying alongside your LAAT gunship and you get all those rerolls and you max upside. Doesn't hurt to fly for more known things, like things that are more meta proven. It's not wrong, but remember, when you go all in on one strategy, when that strategy doesn't pay off, it kind of sucks. Nevertheless, really dig the look at this list. Really, really cool. So we will leave those there. Once again, if you'd like to submit a list that features either the G class or the droid gunship, comment section below. Yet another squad builder. Yeah. Copy that text. Pop it in there.
You've already seen what it looks like.
I will demonstrate on this list, for example. We click here, print export list. We click on text on the bottom here. Look, we're all good to go. We have all our upgrades and pilots, and we have our link right here. Chuck that into a comment on any video that we do, but it's easier for us to find if we put it on one of the Hangar Bay videos. And we're all good to go. We may talk about your list in the coming week/weeks. In the meantime, do not forget, like, subscribe, comment with lists or just general musings, whatever you like.
Just a nice hello.
As long as you're pleasant, always happy to see some nice comments from the fans. Also, yes, you can follow us on various social media and on Patreon as well. The link for all of those are down in the description. Thank you for everyone that supports us on those. In the meantime, Justin and I will catch you in the next video.
Bye.